So I am one of the businesses that also started in COVID times. I started my law firm on the 1st of September. So I'm 3 months in. So Regina, I'm a little bit older than you are. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Chadinha. I am an attorney. I'm based here in Kempton Park. My law firm's name is Chadinha Attorneys. At a family law-based law firm here on Chadre. I stayed on after my I really did enjoy doing the divorces and children's court, domestic violence, harassment, all of that. And then I decided that I wanted to broaden my horizon and go to more of a generalized law firm. I then managed to go and get employment with a large law firm here on the East Rand. I dealt with debt collection matters. I dealt with commercial litigation, contracts. I managed to see some on-site on conveyancing property matters. I dealt with evictions and just general litigation. And it really, really helped me to grow as a person, as an attorney, and to adapt to different situations. I also had the privilege of doing various articles for a local newspaper and give opinions. So that was quite an exciting time. And I also sit as a pro bono attorney for children in children's court, because I find that a lot of the time parents tend to get involved in terrible fights between each other, and they really do forget about the kids' voices, the children's voices. And a lot of the times the courts need to hear what the children are feeling, and the Children Act says exactly that. We need to take regard what the children's opinions are based on their age, stage of development and maturity. So that for me, for starting up my own law practice, it has been one of my biggest goals, is to try and get involved in that arena, and to be a voice for the little kids who are not often heard. So that's been my journey so far. In terms of running my own law firm, it's been a challenge. Leslie, like you said, it has its ups, it has its downs. I truly believe that when I started my own law practice, that nothing much would change. I'm still doing the same kind of thing. I'm being a lawyer, and I didn't really understand the background part of actually just being a pure business owner. I've gotten really much involved in a lot of marketing. I really find that getting involved on these kind of platforms to be really helpful, also as a source of encouragement, because you realize that whatever you're feeling, whatever you're going through at the moment, somebody else has also experienced that, and who can give you words of wisdom. So I thank you very much, Leslie, for that. And not only that, I've also realized building relationships is golden. So Regina, I would like to second you on that one, that building relationships is the real source of doing a successful business, and that it's going to take you far, far beyond. So, and with all of those connections, as an attorney, it's a referral-based kind of business. So if you've done a good service for a client and a client trusts you, they will remember your name, and if you've made a really good impact on their lives, because that's my business. Whatever I do for a client, whether it be a contract, whether it be going and fighting in a court of law for their rights, you have an impact on their life. And I recently had a criminal matter this past week that has kept me up nights to try and ascertain how to assist my client. And the main thing that we fail to realize is that we're dealing with human beings, and whatever you do and whatever you decide really has a direct outcome. So it's a huge responsibility on top of that. So that for me has been an eye-opener as a journey, or on the journey as an attorney, So yes, that's me in a nutshell. I've dealt with family law, commercial litigation. I also do deceased estates. I help draft wills and testaments, and then, like I say, general litigation with evictions and debt collection. There's a lot of debt collection happening at the moment. Obviously, everybody's battling in these COVID times. So yeah, that's me. That's what I do.
Chandre, yes, it's having to wear all the different hats. Say, 1 minute you're the marketing manager, then you're the financial manager, and then you're the cleaner, and then you're this, and then you're that. It does take some getting used to, I have to say, and it's often a lonely path, as you said. Chandre, I just wanted to ask you, since I know you started your business, but obviously you've been in practice for some time, have the kind of cases you've had to deal with changed over this year? Are you finding more of a certain type of problem that people are coming to you with?
Yes, unfortunately, a lot of divorces. I think that has been a direct consequence of COVID. Unfortunately, people, I think, have felt that by being in close proximity to one another, they can no longer find a way to try and sort out their differences. So divorces have been a major increase. Domestic violence, and specifically against men. Domestic violence applications have been brought against men, and I'm having to find that I'm representing a lot of males to try and fend off, can I say, unjust interim orders that have been put against them for very, should I say, it's not, maybe I could say it's vexatious allegations that have been made against them. So that has been a high prevalence. And like I said already, debt collection. People are battling to pay off their credit or loans. And we're having now to run after people. And unfortunately, people are struggling. There's not a lot of capital out there. Cash flow is really difficult. So that's where we're headed. But fortunately, things like mediation, that is definitely something that is coming up a lot, because people don't have money to spend on litigation. So if you can try and attempt to mediate the situation rather than going and litigating, that is another avenue that I've come across now to have a lot of high demand in. So yes, that's in a nutshell what I have experienced in this past year, before opening up my own practice and now while I have my practice.
Wow, I'm sure a few of us were a little surprised with what you had to say there. You had an entrepreneur come to you and say that tomorrow I'm starting a new business. Just having started your own, what would be the first thing you would recommend?
Sure. I would probably say that definitely put a budget. I think that's the first and foremost thing. When you start your own business, you need to have clarity and certainty and have your targets, because you also need to sit down and have foresight of what unexpected expenses you can perhaps find, because that's exactly what I'm finding at the moment, these unexpected costs that are suddenly coming up. So certainly from a financial position, because that's your longevity. If you don't know how to manage your finances from the onset, you are going to not have a very long and successful business. So that is first and foremost. And I'd like to also commend on, Kenny on what he said, time management, because you find yourself, and especially when you work now from more home office, you tend to spend a lot more time and you tend to neglect your personal and your family life, and your work seems to consume you. So I think that is something that also one needs to have cognizance of. So those two factors for me have been something that I definitely would like to impart and suggest to a new entrepreneur to have a look out for.